Hey everyone, Tech Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. On this video, I'm going to talk about a special port that's on this Hisense U8Q. Now, a lot of people online are talking about it only has 3 HDMI 2.1 ports, but Hisense did that. So now one of the HDMIs that supports eARC now will support uncompressed Dolby Atmos, which I talked about on the unboxing video. Today, we're going to talk about this special display port, and I'm going to test it with some different computers and Xbox and PlayStation to see what limitation it has. Now, I will tell you, this port was specifically designed for gaming PCs using a display port to a USB-C adapter. But it's not compatible with every product on the market to get the full performance out of it. But I will tell you, if you want to use it for 120 Hertz, you can use a unidirectional USB-C to HDMI cable to transmit the signal to this television. Or you'll need a bidirectional USB-C to DisplayPort 1.4 cable in order to get the 165 Hertz that's labeled on the box. Unfortunately, I don't have a PC that can support those frequencies, but I will try it out on these other devices so you can see how it works. But if you have a PC, here's some requirements minimum to get that type of performance. In order to get the 165 Hertz, you would need something like the NVIDIA RTX 4080 graphics card to get that performance using the DisplayPort 1.4 output on the back of it. You could also use the NVIDIA RTX 4090 to be able to get the 165 Hertz performance out of it. And since this TV does support AMD Premium FreeSync, you could also use an AMD RX 7090 XTX graphics card. So now that you know the requirements to get that 165 Hertz, I'll go and test the equipment I have set up here so we can see if it will support auto low latency, variable refresh rate on other type of devices. For this first test, I just want to try out a MacBook Pro on this TV using a USB-C Thunderbolt connection, and as you can see, it does work on this television. And connected directly to the TV, you can see I'm getting 144 Hertz, but it will support all the way down to 24 Hertz. So far this TV is pretty impressive using that USB-C connection on it. So earlier I showed you this cable right here, and I did purchase it, but we'll try it on some other devices. But keep in mind, this cable can only go up to 120 Hertz. Now with the Xbox plugged in directly to this TV, let's see what kind of performance we can get out of it. But the thing we want to look for is the resolution and see if it supports variable refresh rate and auto low latency. So here's the settings in the Xbox, and I do have the TV in gaming mode. Let's see what happens when I try to switch it over to 120 Hertz using that adapter. The one thing you'll notice here is that it dropped the resolution from 4K down to 120 Hertz. The one thing that I noticed is that it dropped from 4K down to 1440p, but it now will support the 120 Hertz. Under TV display, it will show some of the settings here, and it will not support 4K 120 Hertz using the adapter I have, and you do lose the Dolby Vision Gaming. Another thing I want to put out here is under video modes, auto low latency is not working, nor is the variable refresh rate. So that adapter is really built for PCs and not Xbox. So that's the settings that I got on the Xbox, but keep in mind, it could be this cable, but this is the one that was recommended to me from a support team. So with that being said, let's try out the PS5 and see what capabilities that it has. Under current video output signal, you can see that it is reading 4K at 60 frames per second, just like the Xbox. I did test out the 1440p on this television, and again, it is reading 60 Hertz in SDR and 120 Hertz in SDR. Now, if we test the variable refresh rate, it says that this TV does not support that. If we test out the auto low latency, this TV doesn't support that through that cable. And if we go to HDR, it says the TV doesn't support that as well. For this last test, I want to try out this Lenovo computer using that adapter through the HDMI. I did try the display port, but it wasn't compatible with this computer. And keep in mind, this just has the Intel Iris processor in it for video, so it's not going to give you that high resolution like the MacBook Pro could. So what I did is I isolated the display so we can get its personal resolution. And then the first thing we'll do is go check out HDR. And you can see here that HDR video streaming and use of HDR is not supported. Now when it comes to resolution, it will support up to 4096 by 2161, but they do recommend the UHD 4K. We'll go ahead and put it in that resolution. So now we have it in 4K. Let's go check out a few other things. So here's the refresh rate, and you can see that it will support up to 120 Hertz, but it did drop the resolution back down to 1920. So it went back to HD quality to get that 120 Hertz, so it wouldn't support in 4K, and it could be limitations to my video card. But these are the findings on this basic laptop. It could be different if you have a better laptop as far as the performance of it. but just want to give you a general idea. The last thing I want to mention here is that there's so many different adapters on Amazon that you might find one that can support the auto low latency, variable refresh rate, and HDR, but the cable I'm using could be limiting. But if you buy this TV and you find a cable that works, please post it in the comments below. And just take note here, the display port is on the input, and if it is highlighted in white, it means that it will detect whatever you plug into it, but if it's not highlighting, it means that it's not compatible. Another thing I want to show you is under channel and inputs of this television. If we go over here, you can see there is an option for display port. There is an option for enhanced format, and this is going to be for 4K displays. But throughout these tests, I had it in Enhanced Pro, and this is ideal for gaming consoles, so it can support a higher refresh rate. This whole video was to show you how this display works on this television, and for Hisense to make this move was pretty bold in my opinion. It's revolutionary because a lot of people have been asking about USB-Cs on a TV, and this is probably the first generation that's going to have this, but who knows? There will be some improvements, there will be some changes in the future. There might be a software update, but I would say the cable I'm using could also be limiting the potential of this new port. But if you guys have questions, leave that in the comments below. I hope this video helps you out to understand this. At the end of the day, 4 HDMIs is for a lot of people, but for gamers out there who want to go to the next level on a television like this, this might be the solution. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.